Hello aspirants, heartiest congratulations to all those who have qualified the mains examination and who are now appearing for the interview. Well, I am Poonam Dalal Dahiya, a civil servant and author. Having secured 208 marks myself in the interview stage, here is a quick guide for all you to ace the interview. So, let us first understand what is this UPSC interview. Friends, it's nothing but a personality test assessing not only the intellectual abilities but also the social traits of an individual, the interest of an individual, how well conversant are you with the current affairs, your mental discipline, your mental toughness, the decision making skills of a candidate, your ability for social cohesion and leadership, your awareness for your surroundings, your knowledge for the international and domestic affairs. So, in a nutshell, it is just not about your intellectual abilities, it is also more of about testing your intellectual integrity and emotional integrity. So, as we are all aware that personality test is of 275 marks and it is a big game changer because the rank is decided primarily based on the interview score. Generally, the duration of the interview is of 20 to 25 minutes and the panel members are mostly 4 or 5 F numbers headed by the chairperson who is normally a member of the UPSC. The first thing which every candidate should keep in mind is that it is not a interrogative process or a dreadful experience. Rather, on the contrary, from my own experience, I have always felt that it was a very insightful, enriching experience one can have. It is a more of a pleasant conversation and a formal conversation at the same time, which you are going to cherish for your lives. So, if you are going to take it in this spirit, you will be able to answer in a much more calm and composed manner. Also, kindly keep in mind that the board members would always make you feel comfortable and they are not there to intimidate you in any way. They rather want to assess the true character of your personality, your true traits, and for that to make it happen, they are going to make you feel as comfortable and they are going to ask a wide range of questions from you. So, if you are stuck at one question, do remember that the second set of questions is always there to help them make you assess. So, in a nutshell, the effort of the board is to test your true personality, to test the sincerity of your thoughts and to test the emotional and intellectual integrity of you as a person. You also need to understand that you need to maintain a calm and composed demeanor throughout the interview. So, even if you are not able to answer a few questions during the interview, it is okay, because you need to understand the interview is much more than assessment of your intellectual abilities. It is basically testing your intellectual integrity too. So, here are certain tips for you to ace the interview preparation. Now, the first tip from my side is to study your DAF very carefully. You all have filled the detailed application form and now you need to understand that this is the basis of your interview. The board members are all having a copy of DAF and whatever questions they are going to ask, around 70% of the questions are going to be asked from the DAF itself. So, you need to be very thorough with your DAF. With my own experience mentoring the students over a period of time, I have realized that we do the mistake of overlooking the common aspects, right. So, generally at times we do prepare the optional subject in detail or certain achievements of ours in detail, but we tend to overlook the basic things as small as our name. So, my suggestion to you would be to make a list of 50 to 60 expected questions from the DAF and then have a thorough analysis of the same. For example, if you start with name, so what are the other major historical personalities sharing the same name with you? You need to know more about them, their achievements. Also, what is the meaning of your name? What do you think you want to achieve with this name? So, you need to understand that questions can be framed on anything, but the basics of every question is going to be your DAF. So, please master your DAF thoroughly. Every aspect of your DAF is very important and you need to actually prepare it in detail. Now, along with the mastering of the DAF, you need to read everyday 2 newspapers. My suggestions would be to go through Indian Express or Hindu, and along with it kindly take any Financial Times, be it Economic Times or a financial newspaper such as Mint. But having said so, kindly read in depth the newspaper. You cannot miss the main page, the international page, the editorials page, the opinion based page, the explained page, and the economy page of any newspaper, and also the sports page. So, read the newspaper from the point of view of forming an opinion. Kindly go through the editorials in detail and in depth, and also if you want to supplement this information, kindly supplement the basics which you have understood about any topic with the necessary facts and figures. So, let us say for example, if you are being asked any opinion based question, you need to arrive at a conclusion only after stating all the facts and figures associated with the problem, so that the board members can actually feel that the candidate is not arriving at any conclusion without a thorough analysis, and that thorough analysis can only happen if you are able to supplement your basics with proper facts and figures. Also, I would like to emphasize here that in current age and times, there is a hell lot of information available. Now, we need to actually pick and choose what kind of information are we going to take in. So, instead of going through every random source of information, we should look for the authentic source of information, and also the right kind of information should be filtered out of all the available sources, and then that should be assimilated. Now, the third point I want to emphasize you to do is to watch relevant and useful, insightful shows on Sunset TV and Doordarshan. Kindly go through these shows, and also have a notebook along with you when you are watching these shows. Make a list of the important topics, the relevant, the contemporary issues, and try to have pros and cons listed about all of these topics, and then based on these topics also form a brainstorming session among your friends and peers, and then discuss about these topics in detail, so that you can have a conceptual clarity and an in-depth knowledge of the subject matter. Now, have brainstorming sessions with your peers, with your friends, with your parents, with your mentors, and now based on these brainstorming sessions, try to form an opinion about different contemporary issues. Now, this opinion should also be supplemented along with facts and figures, which you be obviously collecting along with your basics. Once you have taken note of the contemporary issues, you have done an in-depth study of the optional subject and the graduation subject, I would suggest you to give mock interviews now. Once you feel that you are prepared to face the interview board, go for 2 to 3 mock interviews. Now, after every mock interview, kindly do a SWOT analysis. Nowadays, every coaching institute is offering a free video, with the mock interview. So, you can take hold of the mock interview video and sit through the interview, check out how was your eye contact, how was your hand movements, how was your body language, how was your posture, were you smiling in the interview. So, check out all these aspects, and if you feel that you are lacking somewhere, kindly work on those weak areas. Now, one another aspect I would like to focus on is that during the interview, please listen and understand the question very carefully. Sometimes the candidates does the mistake of not listening to the question carefully, and they tend to arrive at an answer very quickly. Now, I would say you will be definitely asked 2 to 3 opinion based questions during the interview. Now, in these opinion based questions, kindly take a pause, think about the answer, structure your answer very properly, and then prioritize your points and then deliver the answer. So, that way the answer would be much better as compared to just a random answer. Now, so in no stage you can compromise on the intellectual integrity. Now, having said so, I would also like to give a small tip that at certain times during the interview, you will feel that the board members are actually providing you hints if you are answering something wrong. Kindly look out for these hints and rephrase your answer accordingly. Now, only go ahead with your original answer if you are 100% sure that you are right. If you are, let's say, having a slightest doubt that you may not be right, so kindly take the hint from the board members and rephrase your answer and reattempt your answers instead of bluffing. During the waiting time of your interview, please focus exclusively on the interest areas and hobbies. Generally, candidates do the mistake of overlooking these basic things, and they cost them very dearly. Now, with experience, I can tell you around 30% of the questions actually come from the interest and hobby areas. So, in no way you can neglect these areas. Kindly have an in-depth analysis of these areas and try to be honest and sincere in your answers regarding these areas. Apart from these all quick tips, I would also like to point out that generally candidates are having doubts about certain other aspects such as language and dress codes. Now I would like to point out here that you need to understand that language is just a way of expression of your ideas and thoughts. So it doesn't matter which language you use. You need to be confidently express your thoughts. So that is the major thing which actually matters. So don't worry whether you are from Hindi medium or you are from English medium, whether you are from a small town or from a urban town. These things hardly makes a difference. What the board members are looking for is a sincere and honest personality. And if you have it in you, then definitely you are going to be there. Now, having said that, about the dress code also, I would like to emphasize that be smartly and pleasantly dressed. Don't overdo it. Don't go for very expensive and flashy things. I would say that be very elegantly dressed and just carry it well. That's what matters more. So I hope that all these tips would provide you useful insight for your interview, and I do wish that each one of you who is listening out here clears the UPSC with flying colors and have a great score at the interview. Thank you so much.